Federico, make sure when I get all the submissions, okay? It should be easy because it's not for him.
Welcome back, friends. We got another round with my black belt professor, Chico. If you guys want to see his perspective on this round, I'll link that video down below. He has his own YouTube channel and he's making really good commentary videos as well. So I start the round with a little guard pull and I'm looking to enter the legs. He's keeping his legs away from me, making it really difficult for me to get in there, so I'm trying to wrestle up for a second to force him to have a reaction. He ends up falling into my close guard, and now I'm looking to go for my overhook stuff. He's framing my armpits, and I really need to clear this frame, otherwise he's going to be able to stand up and start passing my guard. We have a little chat for a second, because as I go to clear that frame, my shoulder cracks really loud. But it's fine, I'm fine, so the round continues. I'm doing my best here to try and break his posture and get him to post his arms on the mat, but this is no easy feat. I decide to change tactics a little bit and I go for a little arm drag, trying to force his arm over to the side to see how he reacts. He controls my wrist to defend, and I try to sit up to close that space and maybe try and chase his back. He quickly frees that arm, and now I'm looking to set up my overhook. I need to free my wrist first, so I start circling my hand out. I'm thinking about diving my head under his arm to try and break the grip, but that's not working out very well. So I make a huge mistake by leaning backwards, and he starts to feed my bottom hand to his other hand. He's entering this Sao Paulo styled passing, and whenever people try to do this to me, I try and go either for an omoplata or a pendulum sweep. But obviously he knows better, so he starts to drive pressure into me so that I can't move my legs, and then it's really difficult for me to try and get my pendulum here. Nevertheless, I try and underhook the leg, and I start trying to pendulum my legs to bring him over. This is an incredibly comfortable position for me, as you can imagine. But hey, who needs a functioning lower back? I continue to try and pendulum and swing and do anything I can to try to get him off of me. I guess that he decides to be nice and stop smashing me, so I go for my little overhook and then I quickly switch into my shoulder crunch. This has been one of my favorite sweeping and submitting positions recently, but he does a really good job of sliding that arm out. He posts on my neck to get his posture, and he looks to open up my close guard. As soon as he gets that close guard open, he drives his knee up, and now it's not good for me. I'm trying to frame here, but I already know what's coming. I'm about to get passed. He starts to drive that knee to the mat over my leg, which is making it really difficult for me to close any type of half guard. He's also pinning that arm, which is making it difficult for me to get on my side and recover to a better position. As you can probably tell, this is not ideal. But nevertheless, I'm doing my best to keep my legs locked, and waiting until he slides that foot out to fully lock my half guard and try and get on my side. Now, my arms are doing nothing to frame him at this point, so he takes the opportunity to go for double underhooks. He starts walking his underhooks up, putting pressure, making it increasingly more and more uncomfortable. I'm holding on for dear life as he starts to elevate his hips and look to free his leg by kicking my top knee. I do my best to insert a little lockdown so I can try and bring him down a little bit to hopefully get my shoulders back in. But his weight is really far forward, and it's really easy for him to clear that lockdown hook. He starts to pry my legs open, and he looks to enter into the mount. I keep a tight lock on his ankle, trying to at least maintain my quarter mount, and I start to turn on my side just a little bit so I can start working a little bit of a knee lever to try and bring my underhook back in. He's still controlling my two arms, and he's looking to transition into a bit of a gift wrap, so he starts to hold my wrist, and then he grabs his own wrist to fully enter that gift wrap position. Then he quickly goes for a little back take, and I start to turn into him to defend. I'm able to get out because he's being nice to me, and I'm looking to pass. I'm trying to keep everything tight and stay really close to his legs, but he starts to frame me and scoot out. Passing his guard is impossible, but nevertheless, I try anyways. I try and push him back to the mat because I already know what's coming. He starts to go for an arm drag and he uses that to wrestle up. We scramble and he hits the easiest takedown of his life. And then we get this fun little piece of commentary from our cameraman.
I'm not getting any hazard pay for this. I could have just been chopped.
Sorry, Cristobal, maybe we'll give you some hazard pay for the next one. Trying to defend his pass, I look to turtle and try and grab his legs. I fail miserably and he enters into side control. And all my hopes and dreams for winning this round slowly disappear. So now it's time to focus on what's important. I need to do anything I can to survive the remainder of the round without getting tapped. But that's no easy feat. I'm doing my best to get my frames in, as you can see, not doing the greatest job. And Chico starts looking to transition into north-south. He puts his hand over my hip and he starts walking all the way to north-south. And I start to get my frames in and look to turn into him. As a Hail Mary, I start to throw my arm over and look for a little guillotine grip so that I can try and slide up to my knees. But at the same time, he gets a guillotine grip of his own, which is making it really difficult for me to start turning. So I flail around for a bit, showing off some really high-level jiu-jitsu. And he pins my arm to the mat, making it even more difficult to start turning. He uses his shin to staple that arm so that he can free his arm to go for an attack of his own. He starts to flatten me out to maybe go for a north-south choke, and I have no earthly idea why I'm trying to hold his head. He starts to circle around to sink that choke in, and now I'm in big trouble. The more he slides back, the tighter the choke sinks in. Realizing I should probably be doing something with my arms, I start to defend. I take my right fist and I start driving it into his neck to hopefully try and get him to let go, or at least relieve a little bit of pressure while I try and bring my arm back in. He ends up letting go, he goes to knee on belly, and the round ends here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. Thank you so much to Chico for letting me film this round, and thank you to Cristobal and Federico for filming. Chico's point of view on this round should be on his channel tomorrow. I will link that in the description for you guys to watch. I think it should be really fun. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!